Tarzan understands that just being in position is all he needs to do.
Well, this is what happens when Scuttle Crabs give you a lot of stuff. As Gorilla is going on in, gets Bone Skewered. Tarzan is going to stop the Fear Leash from coming in. Peanut taking a lot of damage, forces the flash out of Gorilla. Now Prey in a bad spot. The Ignite taken down, and first blood goes to Lehens in the bottom side with that Ignite. And trying to come in here with the Bone Skewer. He does land it. There's the Shockwave. Gonna look to force the flash out of BDD, and there it is. But Lehens comes in and gets the stopwatch too. But just as easy as you'd like. The stopwatch not very good against Orianna. They pick up the kill. It's gonna be hard for Peanut to get those kills now. No summoners on BDD, and Chovy still with them. And look at this, looking for a play in the top side on Nakan. Who's the bully now? 2-on-1. He does have a stopwatch, but look at how tanky Tarzan is. He really doesn't care about this turret at all. Is gonna live in the end, but here comes Peanut. The pillar is going to be there, and Sword is going to be the bodyguard on top of him. Is up 2 levels, and Peanut's out of mana, so they get the kill.
Very well played by Griffin, and now we're back mid.
Oh boy, here we go again. This time no summoners, no stopwatch. A couple of autos would have done it, but Chovy a little bit too aggressive that time around. BDD will
getting repeatedly ganked. Theoretically, they're getting wins elsewhere, but they're not getting them here. They're getting ganked and dying in mid lane. We're seeing Tarzan, who again has a Mega Gnar. Look at the timing once more.
Well, no flash and no stopwatch. What are you going to do this time, Khan? It's going to be dying. That's going to be the answer. He goes down again to another dive. Meanwhile, you talked about other map plays. It is 4-on-3 down here on the bottom side, but here comes the TP. Will be canceled out of Sword in favor of just trying to take out this top turret instead.
He didn't use the Gnar ultimate, but the Mega Gnar was timing out
as he can do. Lehens is thinking about a Bone Skewer. And instead, he's going to get a Nocturne. Will be forced to flash away. Again, another Paranoia that does not get Signet. Peanut still looking for that opening and still trying to help his team out here.
The turret is destroyed with 0 HP on the turret.
Especially after...
Okay. It's gone.
Griffin, they take it out. They do us all a good service and say, okay, we don't have to look at the 2 anymore. Blue buff being contested here is going to go the way of Griffin. Tier 2 turret taking damage. And look at the positioning from Tarzan, rather. Looking to get on in there. Takes a lot of damage. Or they have a nice amount of pick. And they're looking for Prey now. He's in so much trouble. He is able to flash away, though. And now the knock-up trying to come on in here. Peanut going in onto Tarzan is not going to be effective. And it looks like the Gnar is finally going to get that bottom turret. I think then you just troll around a little bit and try to put down a good pillar. They do have the suspicion. Here comes Gorilla, but all of a sudden a pillar to the face, and now Gorilla is going to be in a weird spot. Did have to use his ultimate. Is looking for the engage now. Is going to mess up the combo. The Baron, they can put their 3 control wards in this triangle, but the pillar is really fantastic. Gorilla, this time around, he does have his ultimate, but the Bone Skewer comes in and double flash away from the Shockwave. Once again, nobody in the bottom side at the same time, so Sword just picks up a turret. And Peanut is just going to back off. There's no vision. He can't Paranoia in. He doesn't have his flash either, so he can't face check. Gorilla tries to come over here, but it's too late.
Being dictated to is Kingzone Dragon X. There's going to be an inner turret easily picked up by Griffin.
Kingzone weren't able to do that. Griffin has just waited.
What happens and then not muddying the comms during fights. Well, it looks like that Griffin that we've been talking to about.
Super clean, and Kingzone say, yes, we would love a clean house. Let's have a clean game. Yeah. Nobody gets hurt. You know, just 4 kills, that's fine, Griffin. And just go ahead and, yeah, you can stay over. And that kind of thing always does happen, especially with more and more patches. Teams begin to figure out the new meta, and then eventually a couple of picks come in where you're like, oh, that's actually perfect against what's in the meta right now. And it changes everything up. Well, I think we'll definitely see some questions about the priority on some picks, like the Orianna we mentioned, the Nocturne as well. We'll see where everything lands. We've seen Gnar come back in a big way as well to deal with stuff like Mundo. Look at Viper just 1v1ing Peanut. The Hen's trying to go in there and get the kill in the end. Is going to miss.
Now about Griffin, but you got to work on your early game and your red buff control. We're going to get a 5-match series for sure.
Well, the push is coming in. This is just about what you would expect. Right, 14,000 gold ahead now as Griffin. The Swain is looking useless as ever. We talked about priority. That will definitely be another one that could be looked at as is it seems like there are more counter picks than we really originally realized, as he cannot get in range of this team. He has to flash away rather than flashing forward and getting his 5-man ultimate, sucking the life of everybody.
If you go in, you lose. Going to be to the side. Yeah. Griffin, sword, Scorch. Try to dominate lane, but they never pick ban. But the execution, not so much.
Gorilla's trying to go for a flank over here. The pillar's going to be on the door of the base, actually. Tarzan with the stone plate, doesn't care about anything. Trying to get the stun here on a Gorilla. Paranoia, look at the back line as Snar's just going ham. Is going to get the GA and hops out of there. Gorilla's going to go down 2. And Kingzone from so far behind. The Ray comes in, but Lens is there to stun him down 2. And that's just going to be it. 5-mans on 1 as 4 kills come through. The double kill for Jovi's Orianna. And the result we all expected comes through eventually. 2-0 for Griffin tonight over Kingzone.
Griffin end the regular season. Four and 0 against Kingzone and Valdez. It was not close in any of those 4 games. Kingzone Dragon X not good enough to execute on the Jace draft this time. 12-1 now on 2018 is the Jace pick for Khan. Griffin very controlled, basically a perfect game. 1 turret is all that separated them from a perfect game. And at every point it was ordered. At every point they made the right decision. And they even removed decisions from Kingzone. There was nothing they could do for the better part of the last 20 minutes. And while some people will say boring, I'm impressed by just how robust Griffin's game plan was. This man on your screen, Tarzan, was a monster in the early game and a fairly bloodless monster. The way that he ensured there was no chance Narg could lose the lane at any point. He was there for the 2 turret dive kills they picked up and was there to counter gank 3 times before any action happened. He was a man on a mission. That mission was, my Gnar is not going to get beaten by Khan's Jace.
Yeah, it raises questions about who is going to be the MVP from Game 2. I think Tarzan is definitely the guy you would have to look towards, right? Jovi's Orianna, it was flashy. Just like Ezreal in the first game, Viper picks up that one, but this guy is an outstanding jungler. Sometimes it's hard to see. You know, 8 games of Trundle, it's not the most...